Welcome to the April 24th, 2019 meeting of the Personnel Committee. I'm your chairman, Mark Grimm. Deputy Chair Lynn Makakis will not be here this evening. I'll make a brief call of the roll. Mr. Ward? Here. Mr. Joyce? Here. Ms. McLean Lane?
Here.
Mr. O'Brien?
Here.
Stevens tonight, and Michelle, you're not here. Okay, the first order of business is approving the minutes from the last meeting. Is there a motion? O'Brien, seconded by McLean Lane. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Resolution 231, pay equity study. The sponsor's not here, so that'll be tabled. Resolution 283, promoting Albany County employment, promoting a diverse workforce. Again, the sponsor not present. Tabled. Resolution, third item, resolution 497, adopting policy regarding the legislative summer internship program. No sponsor, so once again tabled. Item 4, approving the Department of Residential Health Care Facilities Collective Bargaining Agreement. The Executive Director of the Residential Health Care Facility, Mr. Larry Flatke. Good evening, Larry.
Good evening.
You have some opening remarks about the contract?
Yes, this is a contract negotiated with 1199 SEIU Service and Maintenance Unit. This was negotiated with the staff, paid staff of 1199, as well as the members of their negotiating committee. This is a 5-year agreement that commences January 1st of this year and runs 5 consecutive years through 2023. It allows for a 2% increase for all staff members each year in every title except for certified nursing assistants, where we're making adjustments to the base pay as well as being able to pay staff by past years of experience in long-term care, so we can be competitive in the healthcare market, but not only competitive, but we'll be able to hire people who otherwise would not come to the nursing home because they would have to enter at the base pay rate as it stands today. This will allow us, if you work at one of our local long-term care facilities, as an example, for 21 years, we would have the ability to bring you in with seniority of 21 years, meaning the pay scale. You still start with seniority day one of 1 day going forward, but the salary would be commensurate with your past experience. So this is a major change for how 1199 is working with our management team in understanding the need to adjust salaries based on supply and demand. And I want to point out that the total amount for 2019 is $356,307 is an adjustment to the budget if every line was filled. And as everyone is aware, we do have numerous vacancies, so the actual cost to our 2019 budget, as far as cash is concerned, is significantly less than this dollar amount.
Okay. Ms. McLean Lane?
Just a very brief question. Good job. Thank you very much, as
Thank you.
always.
Thank you.
My question, so the CNAs have been obviously one of the real problematic issues at the nursing home. Do you think that this is going to help you find more either in-county or be able to fill that need at the nursing home?
Well, I think it's going to help. It shows that we're trying to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
But having a starting salary where everyone, no matter how many years of experience you came to us with, had to start at the baseline opening salary, made it very difficult for us to hire people who work somewhere else. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you've been somewhere 15 years, you're not going to be making the base pay. You're going to be making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 more than that possibly, and this will allow us, once that years of service in long-term care has been justified, validated I should say, it'll allow us to pay them more money. And even though you could have people who are working for you 4 or 5 years making $4,000 less than the dollar amount we're hiring these people, and we're hoping that that is really going to help with recruitment. And clearly adjusting the salaries for those that work there to the mean of Albany County, I think is really going to help with retention.
Yeah, and also getting, also CNAs who have experience.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Any other questions? I have a few questions.
Sure.
Oh, Mr. Brian.
I have an unrelated question. How is the construction going up there at the nursing home? Are we on time, or?
I think that what's going on is pretty amazing.
Yep, I was up there.
Watching it, fold out and take the architectural plans taking hold. On the outside, I think we're probably around 3 months ahead of schedule.
Oh, good.
3 months ahead
Wow.
of schedule. All the foundations are poured. D, E, and F, which are the units that are going to open first, because we're so far ahead on the outside, the inside has been having difficulty keeping up with the timeline. So I would say right now, even though Jerson is telling us they're going to turn it over as promised, the date right now is July 15th of this year, D, E, and F. It seems that they're probably around 3 to 4 weeks behind. That's the way it seems. We get a timeline. We meet every Wednesday. They have put on probably in the last 2 weeks around 25 additional subs. They control all the subs, plumbing, electric. All collectively, they put on probably around 25 additional staff members through their subs. So they're trying to catch up. They're working Saturdays. They're doing work in their shops, bringing in the work that needed to be done, like plumbing. So they say we're going to be on time.
Oh, great.
Wow.
That's good. Good news, good news.
There's a couple things. There are two principal objectives here: to get more money for the CNAs, which is a national problem,
Yes.
but also keep the taxpayer in mind. So when you say there's $356,000, those increases are for salary and also for additional costs, for example, Social Security and
Yes.
Medicare costs. So those associated costs are also included in that number?
Yes.
Okay. And the funding is basically coming from vacant lines, is that my understanding?
That's correct. If you remember, we asked that the lines that were taken away during the budget proceedings be reinstated, and this is exactly for that reason, that we were able to use lines that were vacant to be able to fund this increase for 2019.
A 5-year contract is a little unusual, it seems to me. Typically, they're 3, and I was curious what the thinking was behind a 5-year deal.
Well, the longer you could get a contract, I believe, the better off you are if the contract meets the needs of the membership and management. This contract allows for an adjustment, like I said, to the CNAs, and also next year to the differential which we pay, which is significantly less to our other nursing homes. So next year, when the differential doubles, actually, they do not get an increase, the CNAs. So this increase that we're giving them in 2019, in 2020, instead of 2%, which everyone else is getting, their increase is 0, because we're doubling the differential, which is going to fixed differential over the next 2 years and base salary. The next 3 years is 2, 2, and 2 for everyone, which I believe is a great deal for us, understanding where we're going with our construction, what the anticipated census is going to be, and therefore increased revenue.
You don't. Bill has a question.
Any question?
Bill has a question.
Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Chairman, I have, Larry, first of all, congratulations
Oh, thank you.
on doing such a nice and marvelous job out there. But, you know, I was a party to the PLA agreement, as you know. But I just asked Javon if we had received any reports in terms of what's happening out there with the LAVE programs. Do we have any reports?
Yes.
Have I just missed them, or what?
They're submitted to Tyrell, and we've had at least no less than, 4 or 5 meetings since construction started, going over the numbers. There was just an open house, last week, I believe, of education, explaining what the program is and the internships and how you could join through that process.
Okay, so, did we miss those meetings, or what was it? We missed them, huh? Okay, all right, thank
Yeah,
you.
but we are having them.
Okay.
We just had one last week.
Would you like someone put on the invite for these, or?
Yes, I'd like to know when, at least when they were Karen, I'd like to know what's happening out there. You know, we have the BLA agreement, but I have no idea where we are with it.
Sure.
So, okay,
Right,
thanks. Thank you.
all documentation, if you, you know, send an email, I could forward it to the powers that be, and they will determine how that information gets disseminated.
Okay, thank you.
Larry, from a taxpayer perspective, a couple things I like here, if I understand them properly. Currently, if there are two spouses who work for the county, you can get the buyout and still get the county health insurance now, but the change is you can't do that anymore.
This contract stops everyone at the nursing home from double dipping. They're no longer going to be permitted to do that going forward. In addition, we're also increasing the new people joining our staff, the contribution to health from 10% to 15%.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, important to start having staff members knowing what's going on in healthcare and how much it's costing to ensure to offset or defer part of that cost.
Yeah, and that was my second point, Larry, is that healthcare costs are really going crazy, and
Yes.
really, I believe we should be asking employees to pay more because of the benefits of the healthcare. But this is only for folks who were hired after January 1 of this year,
Correct,
because of course that's when the new contract begins.
correct.
Yeah. Sean, are we, across the departments, do we allow double dipping in other departments? I'm sorry I put you on the spot, you can get back and...
I'd have to check on that to
Yeah,
see.
I'm curious about that.
I don't know all the collective bargaining agreements out there, so let me look into that for
Yeah,
you.
can you look into that for me, because it seems to me, getting a buyout when you're actually on the health insurance is I think double dipping is the right point on that. Do the members have any other questions?
Let's move it.
Okay, congratulations, this was
Thank you.
well thought out, Larry,
Thank
to be
you.
sure, and I'm sure there's a lot of negotiation involved. And it seems like both parties are satisfied, and it's an agreement that really answers that really significant problem we've had with the CNAs, but also keeps the taxpayers' interest in mind.
Definitely.
Quick question.
Yes.
Maintenance workers okay with this? It's a lot more square footage, but we'll be okay. Okay.
All right, moved by Mr. O'Brien, seconded by Mr. Joyce, all in favor? Opposed? Passes. All right, next item. The Department of Residential Health here again, amending the Department of Residential Health Care Facilities budget for, this is the second item. Larry, you want to speak to that?
Yes, this is, the 1199 SEIU has two contracts with the nursing home, the one that I just went over.
Yeah.
The service and maintenance workers, and the second contract is for registered nurses alone. That contract is a straight 2% each year over the 5 years. So it's consistent with the overall increases being given to all county workers. The RNs have been extremely cooperative in agreeing to this agreement. There are certain, I would say, adjustments maybe in a couple of years from now, when the nursing home is better established, to readdress the salaries being given to registered nurses, so they're more in the mean of Albany County. But right now, this meets the needs of those people that work there. We also put in the same language that we had in the previous agreement that stops the double dipping on health benefits if the spouse works for us, will work for us, and the others, and also the increase in health benefits.
Okay. Any questions? A motion? Mr. O'Brien? Seconded by Mr. Ward, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much, Larry.
Thank you.
Good work.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on your recent award.
Oh, I appreciate
Very
that.
good.
Thank you very much.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn? Clean lane. Second by Joyce, all in favor?